Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. Right off the bat, I'm going to apologize for my horrible pronunciations. I'm actually going to avoid saying a lot of things if I can. But Mexican Gothic. So we have a young lady, Noemi. See, I don't know how to pronounce this. Her father calls her into his office, and he says, "Hey, daughter, got this letter from your cousin Catalina saying that she's having problems in her new marriage. It's rambling. She says they're trying to kill her. There's ghosts, craziness. I need you to go to where she is and see that she's okay." So Noemi, she's a young woman. She's college age, university. She's going to university. She's comes from a rich family. She's a socialite. You know, her father thinks, excuse me, father thinks that she needs to just get married. He's concerned with optics, as the kids say nowadays. You know, he doesn't want scandal. And, this takes place in the 50s. Mexico City is where she lives. Anyway, so she hops on a train. She goes to this small town. See, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Anyway, she goes to this small town, and then she's met by someone with a car, and they drive up to High Place, this manor house up in the mountains. There's mist everywhere. And she goes in and immediately clashes with the people there. They have rules: no smoking in the house. You don't talk at dinner. You know, a woman needs to know her place. They're very strict about when she can see her cousin. They say she's got tuberculosis, and weird, creepy things happen. And that's a kind of a big nutshell. But there's your nutshell. So right off the bat, I'm going to say I have 2 copies of this book. I bought the hardback when it first came out, and then I got this because, and only because, I bought the paperback because it's got this awesome inner cover. I absolutely love that. I kind of wish that was this is a fine cover, but I really would love to have that as the cover, or a poster. That'd be a great poster. So, as with any new-to-me author, I was a little nervous about starting this book. I don't know the author's writing style. I have no idea if I'm going to get into this, if I'm going to enjoy it. But I need not have been scared. It was recommended by a lot of people that I trust. It is a New York Times bestseller. Not that that necessarily means I'm going to enjoy it. But I did. I enjoyed it very much. The main character, Noemi, however you say it, I apologize, is very interesting. It seems to me, very much a 1950s sort of a debutante. I'm assuming she had a quinceañera. When we first meet her, she's at a party with a young man, and they've been out a few times, I think, and she's just, I may have to move on. He's fun, he's good looking, but he's not the guy that I'm going to spend my life with. And she knows that she's attractive. She knows how to use her feminine ways, as the kids say again. But she's intelligent and headstrong. She knows what she wants, or maybe more to the point, knows what she doesn't want. She bargains with her father for this sort of assignment, this mission that he sends her on, and he agrees to allow her to go to university and study anthropology and pay for it, I assume. But she's a great character. I really like her character a lot. And once she gets to High Place, immediately I was put in the mind of House of Usher, the fall of the House of Usher, because the family there, the Doyles, they were silver miners and used to be rich, not so much anymore since the mine's been closed down. And the house, there's so many rooms where everything's just covered in white drop cloths and dust, and there's mold on the walls. And it just had I had this feeling of the people there are falling apart, and the house itself is falling apart. And there might be a connection there. That just right off the bat, once we're introduced to High Place, I got that feeling. All the other characters are well-written characters. I don't want to say I like them, because there are not a lot of likable characters in here, but they're interesting characters. The patriarch of the family, when he first meets Noemi, pardon me, is talking about eugenics and things, which just right off the bat, you're like, ooh, just creepy, just wrong. And then his son, Virgil, is the demanding, beautiful man. Noemi, it's not in first person, but essentially everything we're seeing is through Noemi's eyes. You know, this is a big, strong, handsome. This is a man's man. But he's a product, I suppose, of his time and place. And they're an English family, even though this is in Mexico. They're an English family, and he's, women need to know their place. I am the man. I take what I want. And then Florence, who sort of runs the household. Florence is a relative, part of the family. And she's just a bitch, for lack of a better way to put it. Her son Francis is the only other. Well, Catalina, the cousin, is a decent character, but she's very sickly. We don't have a lot of her. So Francis is probably the only other decent character, maybe. I mean, he's part of the family, so we don't necessarily know his motivations. But they're all very well written. And there's we meet some people in town, the local doctor, a woman that does healing, makes up medicines and things, that type of local woman, older woman. But they're all very well written. They're all very interesting. The town itself is interesting. The High Place, the manor house, is almost a character in and of itself. And there's a lot of this is a Gothic, so there is a lot of sort of melodrama interspersed with these creepy things that are happening. And is it just is Noemi just having nightmares? Is there something real going on? The doctor, not the local town doctor, but a doctor that the Doyles have brought in that they use, it just says that Catalina has tuberculosis. Noemi doesn't think that's the case, tries to get a second opinion. The Doyles keep fighting around all this. A lot of character dynamics going on that are really interesting. And then the creepy stuff is very interesting. It's definitely a Gothic novel. The Doyles, their family history, again, they're from England, or at least Great Britain. Came here for the silver mine. There's a whole history there. We get there's creepy stuff in the past, creepy stuff in the present. And it's just so well written and just so well told that it was, once I got into it, got past that initial nervousness, I didn't want to stop reading, which 3-day weekend, got to take my time and blow through it. And so right off, I'll just tell you right now, I guess it's not right off the bat, we're almost 10 minutes in here. I gave it 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. Absolutely fantastic. I've already gone out and bought 2 more books by the author. Her newest one, and then one of her slightly older ones. because I absolutely want to read more. And there's bonus material in here. There are questions, discussion questions if you have a book club and you're reading this book. There is an interview with the author. There is an essay about the real town that the fictional town this takes place in is based on. Again, I'm avoiding saying anything because I know I'm just going to butcher things. And there's an essay on Gothic novels. All of that very interesting. Even talks about the just if anybody at all I think is familiar with Gothic novels, immediately you have this picture in your head of the covers, which is more like that than that, but just those classic covers of the woman, usually in like a white sort of flowing gown, almost maybe a nightdress or something, running away from a house with mist and all that. Excuse me, very classic. So all of this bonus material is great as well. You know, I didn't look in the hardcover. It's kind of buried since I knew I was going to be reading this one. My hardcover's buried. I don't know if that has the bonus material in it, but you're going to want to pick up this copy anyway, just so you can have that. I love that. It's so nice. All right, so anything else I want to talk about? It's a slow burn that builds to a crazy-ass climax. Yeah, just, it's fantastic. It's not gory. There are a little kind of couple disgusting things in there. But it's definitely creepy. It's so amazingly well written with such great characters. Noemi herself is absolutely a wonderful, wonderful character. And I've avoided saying her last name because even though I even looked it up online, I know I'm just cannot say it. I'd have to listen to it for about 10 minutes and then maybe I'd be confident in saying it. But as someone who's unfortunately never taken a foreign language class, never studied a foreign language, I know that I am horrible at pronunciations and things. So I'd rather just avoid it than offend anybody. So anyway, that's it. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely a fantastic book. Silvia Moreno-Garcia. If the other books I got by her, and there are others I want to pick up, if they're half as good as this, they're going to be worth my time. So yeah, I think that's it. What else is there to say? I highly, highly recommend this. Just an amazing story. So, question. I really should think of these ahead of time. Are you a fan of Gothic horror? I'll put it that way. In the essay where she discusses Gothic novels, she talks about the different subgenres and categories and things. But since this is horror, are you a fan of Gothic horror? Have you read much or any of it? Do you have any favorite authors in this genre? Do you recommend any books? I know that, or I believe, Jonathan Janz has a Gothic tale coming out. I've seen the cover, and it's just that classic type of Gothic cover. So let me know your thoughts on the Gothic subgenre. So if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.